Hi everybody, it's CC and JT. CC and JT. That one's CC.
JT.
And welcome to the CC and JT Amateur Hour, where production values go to die. If this is the first time for your experience, first of all, you should know that we've had a lot of coffee. So we're going to be talking so fast. Okay, I'll try and slow it down. Find our center.
Yes.
Second point is, if you are new to our experience, what this is a writer's podcast for writers. We talk about the challenges of writing, of independent publishing, the creation process, the technical process of publishing, and today we're going to be talking about our favorite thing in the entire world, other than marketing, which we loathe. Marketing, oh God. 90% of writing a book is marketing. But
it's a lot.
It's a lot. But the thing we're going to be talking about today is reviews. And I know that reviews are a sore spot. And I'm thankful that I received a review this week that gives us something to talk about. Because it's fun stuff. Fun stuff.
In an interesting coincidence, we happened to be doing an event at our local coffee shop, Comma Coffee, because we love coffee. And I don't know if you had just received the review or if that was the first place you had seen the review, but we were sitting there with our table all set up, in between the many, many people lined up to read our books.
Yeah.
and JT found the review, so it was interesting timing.
Yeah. But before we dive into that, because this is the Carson City Reviewer, I would like to tell the person that we are going to be at the Nevada State Museum on December 13th for their annual holiday festivities, where we'll be selling books, including the book that we're going to be talking about. And we will be at the Sierra Arts Foundation doing a reading with our colleagues in the area, spearheaded by Jackie Turner. Hi, Jackie. Thank you for inviting us. We are deeply honored. So we'll be at the Sierra Arts Foundation in downtown Reno at the Riverside Gallery, just south of the Truckee River. So that's going to be the next day. And we may have one more day to announce, but we're still firming it up.
Yeah.
So we do have two things locked down. We'll be at the Nevada State Museum on December 13th, and we will be at the Reno Gallery, the Riverside Gallery in Reno on the 14th.
Yes.
And the details will be in, of course, in the blog post. So that's all going to be so fun. So
we ended up doing a lot more events this year than I expected. The Comma Coffee event was JT's idea, and I think it was actually a great idea. We did it on Veterans Day, as JT is a veteran, and there are veterans represented in at least some of his books, so it was good timing, and we did donate a portion of the proceeds to the Nevada Department of Veteran Services Suicide Prevention Program, which is a very important program. And so, we're doing what we can where we can.
Yep. And so, every little bit helps. And if you are so inclined during this holiday, do go ahead and Google the suicide prevention programs, the Nevada Department of Veteran Affairs. They have a website right there that you can make a donation to that arm or that division program and other programs for veterans.
Yes.
We also talk about other things, like very quickly we're going to talk about our writing projects. And so I am working on the edits on the Finding Salvation prequel to Serving Salvation. So I'm working on those edits, and we're thinking that book is going to come out on February 14-ish. I don't know. That's going to be tight. We may have to push it off, but we put a pin in the map so we have something to go for. So that keeps me aware of deadlines and stuff. So
that will actually probably be our next release.
Yeah, that's probably going to be our next release. And you're working on?
I'm working on book 2 of Restless Spirits. Book 3 is also underway, so those two books should come out pretty quickly, not back to back, but within a few months of each other next year. And I'm also working on a historical romance called Battleborn Bride that is set during the Nevada Constitutional Convention of going from 1863 into 64, and the celebration of statehood, Nevada statehood, on October 31st. So that book is scheduled for release on October 31st, 2026.
So.
And we may we were talking about potentially releasing maybe a 4th sheriff book on that day as well.
Yeah, that's my year coming up here.
Ephemeral here.
That's my year coming up because I like to release sheriff books on Nevada Day. It just works out that way. So it's like after I finish the edits with Finding Salvation, I have another book I'm working on right now that's set in the same universe. Thank you, Kappa and Dan. That is going to be a book which I hope to release, and then after that I'm going to be working on the 4th sheriff book. I hope that's my plan. So it's all fine. It's all fun. Oh my gosh.
Well, and I'm thinking, depending on how quickly the 2nd and 3rd Restless Spirits books go, the 4th book may be something of a holiday book, and I don't know if I could get it done in time for the holidays of 2026, but it may be an early 2027 release. But I definitely have 6 books planned for that series.
Yeah, so it's fun stuff.
Yeah,
fun stuff.
We're busy.
So we're doing appearances. We're doing, and we should of course talk about our 2 podcasts. If you are if you're in Northern Nevada and you're a writer, we urge you to join the Sierra Arts Foundation and join the Sierra Arts Literary Community. We meet once a month as a group to exchange tales, exchange rivalry, and we have, well, maybe not, but
no, I think we're a little, well, some members might, but not usually at the meetings.
It's a fun group, and
is.
we're a great resource for each other. And part of that, being a part of the Sierra Arts Literary Community, is of course they have 2 bookstores, and we've received money from these bookstores, which is really cool. And so,
also they're setting up another book festival for next year. It's not set in stone yet. They're still in the early stages of planning, but we did the first one, the inaugural one in Sparks in October.
Yeah.
I think it was mid-October. So we're looking forward to doing that again next year because that was a lot of fun, and we're hoping with everything that happened at the last one, weather and a lot of events going on in the area, it wasn't as well attended as we would have liked, even though it was a success. But we're definitely hoping to draw more people to the next round.
Yeah, and it's all sorts of fun. Also, as part of the member of the Sierra Arts Literary Community, you have an opportunity to become on our other podcast, which is the Nevada Author Network. That was not so well attended. It's we were doing fine there for a while, and then it just sort of puttered out. Yeah. But we're going to keep advertising it because it's a great opportunity for people to put that on their social media. Again, marketing is 90% of selling a book.
Right.
So if you are a member of the Sierra Arts Foundation and you have books in the library, come on our podcast. Please come on our podcast.
Well, and when we don't have any new interviews booked, we will repost your previous interviews. So it's not like it goes away. It stays on the website. That is at twomorebooks.com, TWOMOORE books.com. And those podcasts, once they're up there, they're going to stay up there, at least for now. We're probably going to revisit how we're doing them next year, I'm sure. And if you have a new release coming out, or if you're a new member, definitely reach out to us because we want to keep up to date with all the latest news with our local authors.
Yeah, and if you are a local author, check out the people that we have listed on that page and, talk to them, and you'll find out that we're nice people. We're nice people. We're not going to bring you on the podcast. We're not going to ambush you.
No.
We talk about what you want to push, what you want to display, and we're fine with that.
But also, you're not limited to just doing that podcast because we've started doing author interviews on this one as well. And some of the authors that we've interviewed have also been on the Nevada Author Network. So you have the possibility of being on 2 separate podcasts.
Yep. So, and we're just having fun. And if you are an author that is outside of the small circle that we just mentioned, you want to appear on this podcast, we're going to be opening up this podcast for 2026 very soon. And we're going to be scheduling because when we scheduled this for this year, people just took up all the spaces as quickly. Now, we did have a cancellation because of issues, and that's fine. Real life happens. But I'm going to be sending out an email here pretty soon to everybody who's reached out to us through our website at carsonhume.com and said, hey, I want to be in your podcast. So I'm going to be dropping an email and saying, hey, these are the dates. Give me your preferences, and we'll go from there. So that's going to be fun.
And what we do with this podcast is obviously JT and I do our normal podcast where we discuss what we're up to, but every other week when we have everybody, if someone is available, we do record and alternate between our regular podcast and author interviews.
Okay, so we're going to talk now about something that's also near and dear to the writer's heart, because reviews.
And reviews are good. Reviews are for the readers. They're not for the author, though. Right. Some authors do use them to help improve their work. And really, the more reviews an author gets, especially on a site like Amazon, which we know is a sore spot for some people, but that is also the only way that some authors can publish themselves right now. It is difficult to get out there. So the Amazon reviews, the more reviews someone has, the more likely their book is to be promoted within the Amazon algorithm. So reviews are important. Reviews and ratings. So you can just go in and give it a star rating, but a review is helpful, even if it's just a sentence or two.
It can be helpful.
Can be helpful, even if it's, well, you were excited about getting 1-star reviews.
Yep.
And we'll need to discuss this, but the more reviews you have, the higher your visibility in the algorithm.
And it's true about getting 1-star reviews, because 1-star reviews tell the other readers that people are reading your book that are not your friends and family.
Yep.
And so Sheriff, which is this book, it's gotten the most reviews. It's gotten like 52 or 53 reviews, which is cool. But a couple of reviews, we're going to just talk very briefly about them. And for example, I got a 4-star review, which was, a very good review, except it included something that is not true. And it said that there's prison rape in the Sheriff. And having been in prison, that's a very sensitive subject to me. I've spent years in prison.
He worked as a teacher in the prison. He was not incarcerated.
But that is a very sensitive subject for inmates and everything like that. The Sheriff does not include prison rape.
No, it involves a small town jail, not a prison.
Right.
I don't know.
There is no prison.
I think you randomly mentioned prison at one point.
I mentioned the prison in Ely.
Right. But
briefly.
Don't discuss it.
as a trustee gang thing. But
right.
There's no prison rape in it. And I actually had to update the description of the book to say it does not include prison rape.
Yeah.
Because the challenge with these reviews is writers cannot push back on them.
No.
Or I haven't found a way. Maybe there is, but I haven't found a way.
Well, and the author etiquette is that you don't push back on reviews. Reviews are for the readers. They're not for the author.
Right. And
it's very hard. I know JT has been twitching, wanting to respond to this person, but, the person their thoughts and feelings are valid about what they've read. I'm a little questionable about this one because it sounds like the person did not finish the book. They DNF'd at a certain point, and so they didn't get the full experience. And that can be, it's a 50-50 thing. It's like, yes, it's valid this book is not for me. I didn't finish it. That's fine. But there are some not complete inaccuracies, but things were a little skewed.
Yeah. This person identifies themselves as a member of Carson City, Nevada. So again, if you are this person, come to the museum or reach out to the website and let's go have some coffee and let's talk about this book, because I think you kind of not grasp the point of the book. I think it not correct because it's fiction.
Right.
It's fiction, and we're allowed literary license. And one of your critiques is there's 20 counties in Nevada, that I entered 20 counties in Nevada. And this book is set in a fictional county in Nevada, and you quote unquote said there are 20 counties in Nevada. And you said you wrote the first 17 pages of it. I just want to point out that if you had gone to like page 4, and
well, I think wasn't that like the foreword or the acknowledgments?
It says right there that there are 17 counties in Nevada.
Yeah.
And
The
so
extra counties are a fictional. Yeah.
And that's me poking fun. Not only that's me in a way poking fun at myself because I'm just making things up because I'm taking literary license with the state that I've lived in for over 30 years. But you got me on the other thing about where I was just typing along, and you got me where I said that that the Washoe tribe was responsible for Pyramid Lake, and you caught me on that one. You're right. It is the Paiutes. And
yes.
so when I send out revisions on these books, I'm going to fix that. And then the third point, it's just again literary license. But again, I was poking fun at myself. So I did make that mistake about the block in the first book. In the second book, I fixed that mistake. And then in the third book, I used that mistake as a plot point in my fictional universe. And I'm not going to mention what the point is. If you all want to read it, it's out there on the review. But reviews can be a mixed bag and inspire mixed feelings with the writer. We're happy to get them. We're happy for the attention. We just want people to read our books.
Right. And I will say, I read Sheriff multiple times, and we've lived in the area for more than 30 years. We both know that it is the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe,
right. But
there are also Washoe tribal members in the area. So I guess neither one of us caught that, so that's on us.
Yeah.
Our editors and things would not have been familiar enough with the area to know that. And I actually lived north of the Pyramid Lake area, so I should have remembered that and caught it. These kinds of things happen.
Mistakes happen.
It does, yeah. And we fully admit that, okay, so that was inaccurate. It was a tribe that's in the area, but it wasn't in that particular part of our area.
Yeah, and mistakes happen in books, and it's like when I hate rereading my published books because then it's like I go, oh God, I can't believe I screwed that up.
Right.
If one of my books, I'm not going to say which, there's a POV shift right in the middle of a scene, and it's like I just cringe every time I see that. So do writers go back and fix these mistakes? Well,
Sometimes.
Yeah, we should. Someday I'm going to do a top to bottom reading my book. I'm going to open up a file to the side and say this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed. And the thing with the things that the two things that you identified, Carson City Reader, would definitely go on that list.
And it is not something that we're too upset about, other than the fact that it's like we cringe when we reread our own writing and find that we knew better and something got through. But I'd like to point out. Okay, I think about this a lot as a self-published author, and I'm sure we've talked in the past about traditionally published authors, but mistakes get through their books too.
Yeah.
But think about if you are a video game fan, you buy a video game, how many patches do you get to fix bugs in your video game?
All the time.
And people, there are huge ones that people complain about. I think people are more tolerant about mistakes in things like video games than they are in books.
Sometimes
I think there's a different level of standard there. We do our best. We, authors get beta readers, they get sensitivity readers, they get editors, and video gamer, developers, basically, they have teams of people working on these video games, and still mistakes get through. So just, maybe ease up a little bit. If there are huge mistakes, we need to know, definitely.
Yeah. So two things that I'm going to bring up. Two things. First of all, is about mistakes. Is I've told this story frequently on this podcast. I think it bears repeating here, and it goes in line with what you said. Is our awesome aunt, who was an editor, a technical editor, one of the big five publishing houses. The big five publishing houses took me into Borders, walked me into Borders, went straight to a book that she had edited on. It was about this thick. And she opened it up straight to the page and she said, see what we missed? And it was it was blatantly obvious. And you have to think about how many editors, and she was a technical editor, and as writers know, there are several flavors of editors.
Right.
And for a big five publishing house to let through that kind of mistake it opened my eyes. So mistakes happen and they get through.
Right. And I'm not saying that if a mistake bothers you so much that you're quitting a book, that I'm not blaming, there's no blaming here or anything. That's perfectly valid. If it bothers you that much, then don't read the book.
Yeah.
I will say though,
Yeah.
I have read some really atrocious books with tons of grammatical errors, misspellings. They'll have paragraphs that are just completely forgotten somewhere along the lines. And I've finished them and actually enjoyed them because of the development. So sometimes if you overlook even what I admit were horrendous mistakes in this book, I remember it distinctly because, it was so bad, it was good. But it's like, sometimes you have to allow yourself to ease up a little bit. And, I'm not saying that I've probably dropped a bunch of books, probably more often these days than I used to, that I just can't finish.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you kind of relax a little bit, you might find out that even though there are a few mistakes in the book is still well worth the read.
Yeah. So to the Carson City reader that read this, I encourage you to go ahead and, try to pick up the book and try again. You either got this book through the Carson City Library, which it is available through. Is it available on through the Carson City Library?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because I checked it out.
Yeah, it's available through the Carson City Library, so you didn't pay any money for it, or you got it through Amazon and you paid a whole 99 cents for it because it's a recent thing. So it's not that you really invested a lot of personal capital in this other than time, and time is your most valuable resource. Right. I respect that. But if you're going to dive into a book and dive into it to look for mistakes, then I don't know if my books are going to be, your flavor.
Honestly, I don't know if any books are going to appeal to you because I have done some proofreading in the past. So I'm drawn to some things, especially typos. Yeah. And I admit sometimes it will take me out of the book, but I still push past that because I want to read. Yeah.
But if you do pick the book up again and you want to meet for it, we can meet at like Come a Coffee or someplace and we can chat about it. First of all, I love meeting readers, and if you've got some feedback for me, I'd be happy to hear it face to face. Am I going to ask you to go back and change this review? No, I'm not asking you to do that. You wrote what you wrote after 17 pages. So that is 17 pages. Not going to bother finish. Definitely not buying other books. Research is simple. You have to care enough to do it. That's not what they wrote. I do research my books. These just got through. It's a boo-boo.
Well, and as we mentioned, the Pyramid Lake issue, we are very familiar with that. We didn't even have to do the research. That's just something that slipped by because, these things happen.
Yep.
And like I said, our editors would not have been familiar enough with the area to have caught it.
Our editors at the time, our new editors would have caught it.
That's true. You're new. Because she's also familiar with the area.
Yeah. So, and my beta team would have caught it too, but I didn't. For sure, if I didn't have those.
Right.
So, but big picture stuff. 1-star reviews. I still want them because I still want to be able to say, hey, people. People are reading my books, and that's cool. And that are not my
family.
Yeah, that are not family. This is really my only written 1-star review. I did receive another 1-star review as a rating. I should say 1-star rating, not review. So that's a good and I appreciate this challenge to self-examine my mistakes, and I promise you, gentle reader, and all my audience, there's other mistakes. I know there are. Just push on through.
Nothing is perfect, and it's just something that all authors deal with, whether they're an independently published author or a traditionally published author. And we are not picking on reviewers. I mean, like I said, the review is valid because this is how the person felt. They may never look at the book again, which is fine. I think they're missing out. I'm biased, but there are other people who have enjoyed the book as well. So I will admit there are a lot of books that are very popular right now that I will not pick up because they're just not my genre, or they're not really my flavor of a certain genre. So we all have our specific tastes, and like I said, if it's something that really bothers you, that's fine, and your review is valid. We're not saying that it's an invalid review, but reading a little further into the book, you might realize that maybe some things weren't quite as big of a problem as you thought they were.
This book, by the way, has gotten 85% of 4-star and 5-star reviews, and more than half of those are, 53% of 5-star reviews or ratings. So it's like, we appreciate the feedback, but we're gonna, we're not gonna cry and drop in our tracks and stop writing. Sorry.
Well, because if we did, if everybody who had some mistake in their book quit writing, there would be no books.
Yep.
But we will point out, you mentioned that, you get a lot of the 5-star reviews from family and friends. We don't have that many family and friends. So a lot of those reviews are from people we don't know, that we don't have that huge a family.
That's funny and that's sad, but it's also true.
Well, maybe at one point we did have that big a family, but over time they dwindle. And so a lot of those people don't know us.
So please continue to read our books. Please continue to leave reviews and ratings. And circling back to something else that we said earlier, by the way, we're done with reviews. Now we're talking about something else. This week, we completed the project to put 7 of our books, set the price at 7 of our books, including Sheriff, I said this already, at 99 cents.
For the ebook.
For the ebook.
Yep.
Yeah, I hold up the paperback and I say that. Bad JT.
His multiple personalities are coming out.
So 7 of our books in ebook format are on the 5 platforms. At 99 cents, and we did that because we recognize and we respect that some people just will not shop from Amazon.
Right.
So for those folks, if you can go out to Barnes & Noble's, Kobo, Google, or Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Google, or Apple, you will find 7 books, including Sheriff, set at 99 cents. So please take advantage of that. And we're happy to report through Draft to Digital, Overdrive, and Libby, it actually goes that way too. More and more of our books are becoming available in public libraries, such as Sheriff. Your book is in the New York Public Library and Tulsa.
You're in Tulsa.
I'm in Tulsa.
I'm somewhere else. But obviously, I don't know anybody in New York. So I was flabbergasted that the New York Public Library picked up the e-version of Passion Restored, which is exciting. So if even 99 cents is too much for you, which
it could be.
We know everybody is pinching pennies right now, so we get it. Go to your local public library. Our books are available in both Libby and Overdrive, so depending on which subscription service your library uses, you can request the books. If you're using them, you just go to your phone or whatever reading device you use, and you request it through your library. As long as you have your library card loaded in there, it's a very easy process.
Oh, yeah.
Once a few people have requested the book, then very likely the library will pick it up. I still don't know how the New York Public Library picked up my book.
Well, I don't know how Tulsa did.
Right? But your book has been around. It's in the Nevada Library Cooperative, and that's because I know people. I used to work with them. But also it was picked up very kindly. Somebody out in Churchill County requested it through their library. Yeah. So it was actually there first.
Thank you, Wolf.
So, it is a very easy process to request those books. Like I said, as long as your library uses either Libby or Overdrive. And we do get pennies when the book is purchased and when people check it out, pennies.
Pennies on the dollar, but still.
But it gives you the opportunity to read the book without having to put out your own money.
Right.
So we definitely think you should support your libraries. Libraries are very important, especially in rough times, because they're your third space? They're called something specific because they provide so many great opportunities. So we did put them out for 99 cents if you want to purchase an ebook, but you can also go to your library and get a copy as well.
Yeah, we are big advocates of libraries. So and we are so tickled when we find our books in libraries, across the country. And so that, we're sneaking out there. It's taking time, but we're in for the long run. Okay, so I think we've really talked about everything we're going to talk about today. Do we have a big finish?
Well, I think talking about libraries and spending money, and with the holidays coming up, just definitely go out, support your local businesses and your local libraries, support your local authors for sure, and your local creators of all flavors. A lot of people are not happy with the big corporations right now, so definitely shop small for the holiday season.
And
I did a graphic for social media.
Yeah, but we've got a website. We have our own online bookstore if you want to shop small. And if you do utilize it, we will autograph everything the way that you want. You just need to tell us, but we'll autograph it. We'll drop it in the mail ASAP.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the mailbox is like right over there. So
if you're local, we will also meet up with you so that you don't have to pay the shipping fees. We've
Yeah,
said
but
that
you
if
need-
you're in the
but-
Reno Carson City area.
But reach out to us first.
Yes.
So
we have to set up the system so that we don't charge you for the shipping.
So we're bendy. We're bendy.
We're flexible.
We're flexible. We're
We
bendy.
want to make sure everybody has a good holiday season if you can, because it's a rough time of year.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've wasted enough of these good people's time. So, okay, that's it.
We have been having a fun time meeting people at these events. We have a fun time chatting with everybody who comes up to us, whether or not they buy a book. We've had some very interesting discussions.
Oh, yes.
I love it when we have these very gregarious people at Barnes & Noble. We had a gentleman come in who was just all over the place, and I was dressed up for that event, and he came in and he called me Mary Todd Lincoln, or he called me Mrs. Lincoln, and I said, oh no, you can just call me Mary Todd.
We had somebody come up to us at the Nevada Day Parade. It was a beginning writer, and they went into depth about what they were doing and things like that, and it's just the imagination and the energy in their eyes was just something to behold. Yeah. And boy, I hope that we still have that, even a sliver of that. So we enjoy meeting them. So if you are in the Carson City area, just one more reminder is that we will be at the Nevada State Museum, and we will be at the Reno Downtown Gallery for the Sierra Arts Foundation. So it's next month. So come and see us.
Yep.
Okay, but until then, over there, CC.
And over there's JT.
We thank everybody for listening. We thank for everybody for reading, and y'all take care of yourselves. We are better with you than without you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.